Following the events of the Great Cataclysm, the Matoran of Mata Nui were transported to the island of Mata Nui by the Toa Metru, who would themselves go on to become Turaga, but one notable exception was Turaga Dume, an extremely wise and important leader during difficult times. Even after the invasion of the Visorak and the remaining Matoran were taken to safety, Dume decided to stay. Why is this, and what was he actually doing during the time that the Toa Mata, and later the Toa Nuva, were protecting the Matoran and countering Makuta's forces on Mata Nui? Considering that Mata Nui came under attack yet again by the Visorak after Teridax had been defeated, you might find it odd that Dume decided to stay when there were no Toa left to protect him. It should be noted, however, that Dume wasn't completely on his own in Mata Nui during this time. During the Great Rescue, the Rahaga and Kitongu stayed behind, with Kitongu using his strength to help rebuild Mata Nui and repel sporadic attacks by Visorak stragglers. The Rahaga would go on to other islands during this time, around 500 years after the Great Cataclysm, to provide aid to victims of the Visorak conquests, as would Kitongu, and only departed Mata Nui altogether just after the Toa Nuva, Matoran and other Turaga returned to the city following Makuta's defeat. It should also be noted that Dume was the Turaga assigned to Mata Nui, an extremely important position, and would have been no purpose or duties for him to fulfill on Mata Nui, and as such was better placed to stay in the City of Legends. Another way in which Dume was of more use staying in Mata Nui was his Kanohi mask, the noble Kiril. While it couldn't repair damage done to organic matter, it could with things such as buildings, which after the devastation inflicted upon the city by the Cataclysm, and its infrastructure, not least its chute systems, was an ideal opportunity for Dume to prepare Mata Nui once again for the Matoran's inevitable return. I mentioned how there'd be a lack of duties for Dume to fill if he were to join everyone else on Mata Nui. Dume is an extremely dutiful Turaga and did not entertain the Dark Hunters' request for a second when they asked for a base in Mata Nui. A character who says no to the Shadowed One, not least one as relatively powerless as a Turaga, isn't the sort to give up on their duty lightly. Dume's access to the Knowledge Towers was also important during the Toa's absence, as it is through Dume's observation of the stars that he is able to tell the Toa Nuva the shattering news that the Great Spirit was not merely asleep, but dying. So that basically covers the question of why Dume stayed behind and what he was doing during the story years we see in 2001 to 2003. I hope you found it interesting and or useful. Thank you for watching.